Hi guys, welcome to the Fantasy Chancer, the fantasy football show we bring you each and every week here on the Upper Tier podcast on YouTube. For some reason, whenever I try to do this show now, it just will not fucking work. The audio just doesn't work for some reason when I try to do this show, which is really weird because I've been doing like my own podcasts and everything is working fine. So now I've got to use the phone to do this show. Can't share the screen. Even when I'm trying to share images now, I've got problems which I just do not fucking understand. So I got to just use images on my phone for this week's show until I try to get it sorted again for next week. But I'm going to have a look at my team from last week firstly, and we're going to have a look through it. Now, finished on 62 points there last week. Big problem for me last week was Steele coming out of goals. Steele coming out of goals and Sanchez back in goals. So Brighton still changing their keepers. That's not going to work for me in the long term, so I had to do something else to change that this week. Alex Moreno, you can see there, 4.5 million, only owned by 2.9% of players in the game at the moment, and he's in absolutely fantastic form, as are Aston Villa. Estupiñán got 2 points last week, as did Sven Botman, just the one for him. So Moreno really weighed up the back for me last week with the problems I had. In the middle of the park, I had Martinelli and Saka. I'll start with first. Saka, of course, missing the vital penalty. Martinelli getting an assist. Mo Salah, 14 points last week, back to his best, 2 goals for him. And Andreas Pereira just finished on 2. Erling Haaland up top again, 24 points as captain. Standard great performance for him. And Harry Kane and Ivan Toney both drew blanks, and you can see on the bench there, all I was missing out on was that Ben White assist and a couple of bonus points for him as well. So that was last week's, and it kept me in the same position in the league, which is 17th out of 42, which is not too bad. I'm not giving out about that at all. So we're going to see what we're going to do this week. So in goals, I've went for Keylor Navas this week and had to get a new goalkeeper in because of the Brighton situation. They keep chopping and changing their keepers. In the back, I went with Alex Moreno. Brentford away is going to be tough for Villa, but Villa are in fantastic form. So that's going to be a very good game between two sides that are playing good football at the moment. Beside him then, Sven Botman, Tottenham at home. Now I think that's going to be a very, very tight game. I could see a draw happening there. A 0-0, a 1-1, low scoring draw possibly. And Ben White makes up the back three of Wentford this week, and you would think that Ben White will keep a clean sheet against Southampton at home, but stranger things have happened. Martinelli and Saka both in my team. I would not be surprised though to see Bukayo Saka get a rest this week because he's been in poor form by his high standards the last 2 weeks. Went with Mo Salah as my captain. Nottingham Forest at home. I fully expect Liverpool to put Nottingham Forest to the sword and win comfortably. Andreas Pereira then leads, and very, very poor Leeds. And if Pereira can pull the strings in the middle of the park for Fulham, could be another long evening for Leeds United. Jacob Ramsey I've put into my team in fantastic form, as are Villa in general. And then up front, I've went for Harry Kane and Ivan Toney. And there's a bit of contrast there with, obviously, I went with Kane up front, and then I have Botman in defence. I went with Toney up front, and I have Moreno in defence. So something's got to give either way. But they're the only cards I could be dealt this week because of the FA Cup and missing a few players, as you can see there on the bench. So that's it from me for today. Arsenal, massive game tonight. Friday night game. Need to win. If they don't win tonight, the league is done. If they do win, they can go into next week against Manchester City with something to play for. Even a draw would be a good result for them next week. So lots of things still at stake here. Relegation, European spots, top of the league. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But whilst we're on the subject of top, we got to get more subscribers on this channel. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Lads putting out fantastic content week in, week out. And that's it for me. And I will see you at the beginning of next week for a massive round of midweek fixtures. Thanks very much, guys.